It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of It's Going Down, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. It says 83% of Americans cut back on spending as economy careens towards crisis, poll finds. U.S. consumer contentment and confidence have deteriorated for households amid slowing economic growth and persistently high inflation that suggests stagflation. So here it says 83% of Americans cut back on spending as economy careened towards crisis. Now, when it says the economy careened towards crisis, this is talking about a price spike in various different things, such as food, merchandise, clothing, hygiene products, cleaning supplies, you name it. There is a price hike that is going on, even in gas. In some areas here in the United States of America, gas could be up to $5. You know, in some places gas might be $4.99. I actually have a picture of a gas station in my area where gas is $4 and some change, nearly $5. You know, so because gas is not affordable like it used to be, but being nearly double the price of what it normally should be, that alone is why a lot of people is cutting back on spending. You know, if you was spending $20 just to fill your tank up, maybe just a little bit to halfway there to get you by the week, well, now you're going to be spending $40 on gas just to get your tank to a little bit to halfway there. If you were spending $40 on groceries, you know, per se, just to keep your household fed, well, now you're going to be spending more than that. You see? So a lot's been going on, man. You know, even on hygiene supplies. Now, I went to Tops, which is my the grocery store here in New York, because some states have their own grocery stores. Now, for some states, you know, such as Cincinnati, Ohio, your grocery store might be Kroger's. Well, here in New York, our grocery store is Tops. You know, we actually have two grocery stores here. We have two grocery stores here, Wegmans and Tops. Now, of course, Walmart is the common department store that everybody goes to because it is readily available in most states here in America. And Walmart is a clothing / merchandise / department store / grocery store. So Walmart has a little bit of everything: food, clothes, merchandise, you know, you name it. And when it comes to affordable food, you know, more than likely Walmart will be your best bet. Now, as I said before, you know, I went to Tops, my neighborhood grocery store, and you won't believe how much a jar of mayo was. I'm not talking about a small jar. I'm not talking about a big jar. I'm talking about the regular size jar of mayo. It was, I believe it was $5. $5.99. I'm gonna have to take a picture of it. A regular sized jar of mayo was $5.99. Now, back in the year 2014, a jar of mayo used to be $2.99. And that was with the discount price. Without it, it was like $3 and maybe 25 to 40 cents. A jar of mayonnaise now, today, in today's time, is $5.99. That means if you want 2 jars of mayo, that's $12. Do you know what you can get with $12? You can get toothpaste, you can get toilet paper. Hell, you could probably even get a rag. You know, you can get a rag, maybe a pack of bologna, some bread. So is 2 jars of mayo really worth it? But that should give you a good idea of where this economy is going. Now, let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And when was this country called tender and delicate? What do tender and delicacy represent? Comfort. A place of comfort. Is this country a place of comfort? Not anymore. This place was called tender and delicate around the late 1900s. No, this country was called tender and delicate around the late 1800s, going into the early 19th century, where the vast majority of the people used to invest in the stock market because the stock market was the way to become either wealthy or rich. You know, back then during those times, America's economy was doing so good that this country was once looked at as the golden city. And a matter of fact, anybody who was born outside of this country was once told that the streets of this country was paved with gold. You know, this was a country. This was a country of leisure and luxury. You know, back then, gas was so dirt cheap that it used to be under $1. I remember when gas used to be 87 cents. But people forgot about those times, right? Back then when they had those old-fashioned vehicles. Okay? They had those old-fashioned vehicles. Yeah, gas used to be under $1. You know? And as a matter of fact, some of these grocery stores where people will buy food used to be so plentiful that they used to hand out free turkeys, free wrapped turkeys and free wrapped chickens. They don't do that anymore. Oh no. You know, free wrapped hot dogs, things of that nature. Back in the times where there used to be a guy known as the milkman. And he was called the milkman because, you know, he would either take a bike or he would walk, or if he could afford it, he would have a vehicle, and he would drive around in a vehicle and deliver a tall glass of milk to people's homes. And he was paid good for it. Okay? Remember that time where there used to be something called the paper boy? Okay, I used to have a stepfather when I was a child, where he used to drive around in a vehicle, and he used to take newspapers and he would toss it in people's yards. Okay, okay, they were known as the newspaper boys. They would drive through people's neighborhoods. They would take these rolled up newspapers that were in rubber bands, and they would toss them in people's yards. Okay, and they would get paid for doing that. Okay, and yeah, there used to be a news person, a mailman, a person who would deliver your mail. Okay, they used to deliver them on a bike because there was no such thing as a mail truck. Okay, they used to get on a bike. They used to ride. They used to ride their bike through people neighborhoods, deliver their mail, and then move on. So we're talking about those days when America was called tender and delicate, when life was so easy, because America was profiting off of the back of the slaves, which were the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. This country was greatly profiting and flourishing off of the blood, sweat, and tears of the slaves. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that. Here it is, Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 12. It says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, because this whole country was built off of the blood, sweat, and tears of the Israelites, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. And woe unto him that establish a city by iniquity." Okay? So this country is not going to be able to stand because it was built by iniquity, by wickedness. You see? So a part of why the Lord, the Heavenly Father, is bringing this country down is because of how this country was built. This country was not built or established by righteousness, but by iniquity, by blood. Okay, but anyways, the point is that this country is no longer being called tender and delicate. Okay, those American golden days are over. With that, I'm gonna say, Shalom is on to the next one.